if I was a celebrity chef, which I'm not, although sarah@littlepinkitchen.co.uk if you can do anything about that, I'll be introducing my recipe for scones as something for an unexpected guest. Celebrity chefs are obsessed with unexpected guests. Now, I am not obsessed with unexpected guests because A, I don't get them that often, B, if I do, there's a shop at the end of the street and they sell really good hobnobs, and 3, whenever I do get unexpected guests, it's usually at 3 AM after a night out and we stop for a Big Mac on the way to this house. But I am going to share a recipe for scones with you, mostly because it seems to be one of those recipes that a lot of people struggle with. They say they can't make good scones. So I'm going to show you a really, really, really simple recipe that will hopefully give you the foundation for good scones. Secondly, if, like me, you have a slightly decaying vegetable drawer in your fridge, and sometimes to use up all those vegetables, make a bit of soup or something for dinner, and you're slightly concerned that your husband might divorce you for not making him a real dinner, rattling up a few scones makes it look like you've made effort. He comes home from work to the smell of fresh baking, like we're in the 1950s again. Awesome! And they're just really, 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 really simple. I love scones. So easy to make, so easy to do, and so badly done by a lot of places where you buy them. So I'm going to show you my really, really simple recipe now. All you have to do is take 225 grams of self-raising flour. Put it into a bowl, like so. Then you need a teaspoon of baking powder. I just use a regular teaspoon, even though I have hundreds and thousands of those pretty little measuring ones. They're all joined together in those bizarre keyring shaped things and I can never be arsed cleaning them. So a regular teaspoon of baking powder into the flour. Then you need 25 to 50 grams of butter, like so. What you need to do is kind of cut this butter into fairly small shapes. Now, if you're a bit sort of obsessive compulsive, you can do this on a little chopping board. You could grate it in, but what I'm doing here, which is just kind of cutting up butter a bit, is fine. There you have it. Flour, butter, baking powder. Simple. Now, if you're feeling really lazy, which I quite frequently am, you can bung this in the food processor at this point. But if you're feeling like a bit old-fashioned and a bit domestic goddessy and a bit like 1950s housewife, you can just take the butter and kind of like rub it between your fingertips so that it kind of joins to the flour to make like little breadcrumbs. Just like that. It doesn't need to all be perfectly done, by the way. You just want to get rid of any of the big lumps of butter, just by kind of rubbing it between your fingers, like so. And then, while you're doing this, you can think about the weather, think about how much you love your 1950s husband, think about celebrity chefs, think about what kind of an unexpected guest you might like. Caitlin Moran's totally top of my list, by the way. I love her. She's so funny. And then there's all her crew. India Knight, Grace Dent, Sally Hughes, the queens of Twitter. I would like them to be my friend. I suspect I'm not going to get them to be my friend by making videos of myself talking crap and putting them on YouTube. But anyway, such is life. There you have your flour all kind of breadcrumbed up. At this point, wash your hands, would you? Give them a little dry. And then get 150 millilitres of milk and a fork. And what you do is you put in about half the milk, about half, you don't have to measure out the 75 millilitres, I promise. And you kind of use the fork to try and bring the dough together as much as possible. It'll probably start looking like that. Then you sort of more slowly add the rest of your milk. Slowly, slowly, slowly. It'll go through some really weird looking stages, by the way. That's fine. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Add your milk. Actually, having catamaran at a dinner party would be really easy. All you need to provide is like whiskey and good drugs. It'd be awesome. Mix your dough. Mix your dough. And whenever it starts coming together like this, then it's pretty much ready. And you need to get in there with your hands. What you're looking for is a dough that you can kind of squidge together all in one nice big lump like so. There you have your lump. See? Dough. It's awesome. Then what you do is you sprinkle the dough and your worktop with a little bit of flour. You roll the dough around so that it's not going to stick to your hands or anything like that. And you probably need to wash your hands again. Now, what a lot of people do is they get rolling pins and they faff around with that. You don't actually need to faff around with rolling pins. You just need to squish the dough down a bit till it's about finger deep, like a drinking game, except scone dough. When did that happen in my life? When? Then you cut little scones out, like so. Now this dough doesn't make very many scones, because there is one thing about scones, and that is that they are best eaten on the day they are made. So obviously, if you have 10 unexpected guests around, you're clearly way more popular than I am, but you'll double the recipe. But it's so simple that it should mean you can technically make fresh scones whenever you want. Now what you do whenever you have a little bit like this is you kind of bring it all together, you squish it out again, and you cut. And there you have it. Where do you have the scones? There you have the scones. 6 lovely scones. Okay. Then you get a baking tray. You dust it with a little bit more flour. I have lost my pretty pink scoop. Oh well. Dust, 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 dust. And you put the scones on the tray, like so. Then you get a pastry brush, although you can use like your finger or something. You get a little bit more milk and you brush the top of your scones with the milk. That just helps them go like a little bit golden brown and lovely. Golden brown scones, we like those. Then the scones go into an oven that is preheated to 180 degrees for about 15 minutes. I'll see you then. I just find my cup. What do you call the fast cake? Scone. So I'm going to have my tea with my scones in this cup. And who'd have thunk? There's the oven ready. Domestic goddess. Except I just realised that you can't see my shorts, and if I was a true domestic goddess I might wear something a little more appropriate. Anyway, scones. There you have it. Golden brown, perfectly risen. Excellent treat. Be it for yourself, be it for unexpected guests, be it for bloody Catelyn Moran. They are really, really, really good scones. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. And as always, pluggy plug plug. For more recipes, check out www.littlepinkitchen.co.uk. Enjoy!